Good morning, everyone. It is Friday again, and this week has been the crappiest week we've had, definitely so far this year, without a doubt. So it is almost 7:45. It is 7:45. I'm heading up to look after Dylan for the morning, so I will fill you in later as I'm running late. But thank God it's Friday. Hey there, so it is a little bit later on. Now just logged in to work. Well, I've been logged in for like about an hour and a half now. So I went up in the morning after the first clip you saw and mucked out Dylan. Well, I say mucked out Dylan. He's sharing a stable with another horse at the minute. So I mucked out the mess from the horse that stayed in overnight. His name's William. And then he goes out in the field, and then Dylan gets to go in all day as part of his kind of resting period. So William is disgusting to muck out, and he was particularly so today. And then Dylan is super clean, which is so annoying because the person who has William's stable, they get to muck out Dylan at the end of the day, and it's obviously a lot cleaner. But what can you do? So yeah, Dylan is now inside. He has the farrier today to either get a new full set if his shoes are really worn down, or just to get the one taken off again, put back on. I will fill you in on that a bit later on. It has been a week of nonsense, so I will fill you in on why Dylan didn't have a shoe again a bit later on. So yeah, I'm literally holed up on a couch at the minute, so mucking out is not something I do often because obviously Dylan lives out and it really hurts my back. So I'm actually sitting on the couch just now with a cushion and everything to try and support my back because it's really sore. And yeah, just got my laptop here. And I'm away to log back in. I just nipped outside to take the dog for a pee, so it's shut down. I'm not going to open it up because obviously there is patient details on here, so I'm not going to show you the actual screen. But yeah, so this is literally where I'm working. Oh, it's going off again. There we go. Yeah, so I'm gonna work here for a bit longer. I've just ordered Burger King for us to have for lunch because I don't have the brain power to have food cooked at the minute. It's been a week. It has been a week. You will hear more about this later. So yeah, we're gonna go work for another half an hour and wait for our Burger King. And yeah, that is what I'm gonna be doing until 12 o'clock. You better not drop that piggy outside, mister.
Really?
Him. Better not drop his piggy.
I'm gonna put past him.
No, me neither.
He's done it before. I'll do it again.
You enjoying yourself, Mr. Man? Is he having fun, Mr. Stinky? Does he like to look out the window? You're like half out the frickin' window. So, hello. It is now later on in the afternoon. Actually, I say afternoon. It's approaching evening, actually. The dog's now staring at me. Hi. Yeah, so work is finished for the day. Thank God. It has been the longest, crappiest week ever, and I am so glad work has finished. So, not that work was the problem with this week at all. The issue this week was all the bloomin' animal injuries and illnesses and vet visits. Ugh. So, a little update. So, if you watched last week's vlog, you'll have known that Dylan was still lame and he was going in for x-rays on Monday at the vet to see if we could find if there was any fractures or an abscess shadow or something to be causing the lameness that he is displaying. So he was on painkillers all over the weekend, stopped them for the x-rays, and got transported over to the vets. He got them done. He was super good boy. Like, I love the fact that I can put him away somewhere to get something done, and they're always like praised on how well behaved he is. So that's awesome. X-rays found lots of teeny weeny minor things, like something that could be a gas pocket, some rough edges on a bone that could be wear and tear. The horse is almost 16. He's gonna have bits and bobs show up on an x-ray. You know, you x-rayed an older animal, you're gonna find stuff. But nothing that explains his acute lameness. So we're kind of settling on a soft tissue damage kind of zone. So he's on Danilon for another 10 days. For like 2 doses a day, and then we're going to wean him off that over 4 days, trot him up after that, and see if there's any improvement. Hello, my sweet boy. Hello, my sweet boy. Hi. 2 minutes, I'm going to go take my dog out for a pee, because there's the whining. Right. Time to continue the story. So where I left you was on about Dylan, how he's going to be on his he's going to be on his Danilon for the next few days, and then we trot him up again and see if he's still lame, and if he is, then we need to take it from there. Possibly need an MRI, don't really know, but that's what we're doing for now, and he's happy as Larry doing that. You might have noticed that I took the dog for a pee and it was sunny outside, and now I'm back and it's now clearly a different time of day. So yeah, basically taking the dog out for a pee turned into going to the yard to sort of Dylan for the night, so that's why it is a different time of day, because several hours have passed. So to continue the story of the crappiest week ever, that was Monday. And then on Wednesday, Mr. Poocher decided to not feel well. So he was all right in the morning, but then he was just getting more and more sleepy. His appetite had been funny for a couple of days anyway, but we just thought he was being a bit of a fussy eater because, you know, he does get the odd bit of human food, shall we say. So we kind of just thought, oh, well, hello, Mr. Man. Hello. Did you finish your din-dins? Good boy. We just thought he was... Dog is burping. Hi. Oh. So we had yet another interruption from Mr. Poochie here, who wants all the attention. So on Wednesday, Mr. Pooch, who is currently being an attention-seeking little brat, started to feel unwell. He went off his food, and he was just really, really sleepy and lethargic and just not himself at all. So we got quite worried, and then he started being sick. So we took him to our vets. Mr. Matt. Yes, so the vets thought he had a tummy bug or maybe a food intolerance, but given the way he kind of came on so quickly, they were thinking tummy bug. So he got an injection to stop him being sick, and he got some special food to be really bland on his tum-tum, and we were to phone them later on, phone them in the morning to let them know how he was getting on. So we went home, and he refused to eat the food, because by that point he wasn't eating any food. We couldn't get him to eat anything. We couldn't get him to eat chicken, we couldn't get him to eat food, we couldn't get him to eat treats, we couldn't get him to eat nothing. But he was still drinking, so we were like, right, okay, as long as he's drinking, it can't be that bad, that's okay. So we just let him rest. Just let the little boy rest. Yes, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you. You caused Mummy lots of worry. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. So we waited, and he slept all the evening away, and then he wouldn't drink. And we couldn't get him to drink any milk, which he loves goat's milk. So we couldn't get him to drink any of that. We couldn't get him to drink any water. He clearly wants to look out the window, and I'm on his favourite chair for looking out the window. You're standing on my stomach. Please don't do that. So yeah, we couldn't get him to drink anything, and he still wasn't right. So we decided to call the emergency out of hours vets. So we did that, and they said, okay, you know, you could see how he is in the morning, but because he's because obviously out of hours vets are very expensive. So they're like, you could wait and see how. He's seen someone outside. Are you being nosy? Are you being nosy? So they said you could wait till morning and take him to the actual vet that we normally use, or we could take him in and get him checked out. Oh, just climb all over me. Kanan, you're very heavy. Get off my stomach. Anyway, so we decided to bring him in because puppies can dehydrate really, really quickly, and sometimes you've got to act quite quickly because sometimes they're fine and not fine all of a sudden. So we decided to take him in because he's insured. So we're like, okay, if it is expensive, it's okay because he is insured. So we drove him to the emergency vets, and he was brought in there, and they did some blood work, and they did different scans to see if he had a blockage. Hi, you've got a very cold nose. And they did some scans to see if he had a blockage, because they were worried he had something in his gut that was stopping things passing through, basically. And then they gave him an x-ray, and then he had to get second opinions on his x-ray because they saw something, but they didn't know what they saw. And then he started to have really horrible bloody diarrhea. he's found a toy. So that's obviously not great. But once that started to come out of him, they were like, okay. So they then realised that what he had was hemorrhagic gastroenteritis, which basically really bad tummy upset, inflamed guts, lots of blood in the feces kind of deal. So they called us with that update about 3:30 in the morning. We'd been getting hourly updates all night, and obviously we're very, very worried because we thought he needed surgery, and it was like a really scary night, and obviously we missed our little man. So we got that update about 3:30, and we're told, right, go to sleep. He won't be coming home tonight. He's going to get loads of fluids and try and get him to pass as much of this awful diarrhea as they could. Keep him hydrated. And then we had to pick him up in the morning at 7:30 because the vets were closing because they were out of hours vet. And then, have you found your bone? And you dropped that. Oh, mate, thank you. Let's not do that. Kanan, thank you. Oh, that's gross. Look, here you go. He's a very spoiled puppy, as you can see. You want me to hold it for you, don't you? Ugh. Anyway, so we had to pick him up at 7:30. So we got a tiny bit of sleep, and then we picked him up at 7:30 and took him and his little drip bag. I'll insert a little clip here with him with his little cannula still in. And we had to take him over to our vet. And then he stayed at our vet's till about 6 o'clock in the evening the following day, getting, again, more hydration and trying to get him to pass as much of the bad stuff as possible. And they still couldn't get him to eat or drink before they left, so they did tell us a bit to watch for that. But they sent us home and they said to give him things like chicken, something really bland, but something really tasty that he would like to eat. So chicken's one of his favourites. So we were to make sure we had plenty of chicken to give him if he wanted to eat. And if he didn't eat and start kind of perking up, we were to bring him back again. So that was Thursday evening. And me and you had taken the day off work because we'd had no sleep. We're super stressed. And our brains were not functioning. So we just decided, let's just take the day off. We don't know what time we'll need to pick him up, blah, blah, blah. So we took a day at home just to kind of recover from the horrible night and wait to hear what was happening with Mr. Man here. You are being very awkward. Ew, okay. Ugh. I don't mind giving my dogs bones, but man, are they gross. Yeah. Okay, and he likes us to hold the bones for him because he's spoiled. Anyway, so he came home about 6:30, 7:15 on Thursday, and thankfully his appetite was back with a vengeance. He had lots of chicken and he was drinking his water, and he immediately was just so much better than he had been, so we were really relieved about that. And then he slept most of the night. He got up in the middle of the night to pee. Obviously, he had been on a drip for like 16 hours or something at this point. So he was very well hydrated. So he needed to pee a lot more than normal. And he had a couple of accidents because obviously we'd gotten used to him being, sensible with his peewees. And he went from, realising he needed a pee, and it was like a big pee and it was very fast. So we had a couple of accidents. And he got up in the middle of the night and he had a little bit of bloody diarrhea again, which was not very nice. Don't drop that on your feet, please. And but then he went back to sleep. And then we got up this morning and he's been really good all day. I say really good. He's been a naughty little fart all day, which means he's feeling a lot better. Still no poop. But we called the vets because they wanted a daily update for a little while. So, hi. You back with a bone, are you? So he hasn't had a proper poop yet, but they said that was to be expected. But yes, so that is the update with Mr. Kanan, who, like I say, you can probably see he's normal. You didn't see him when he wasn't normal. He was really, really sleepy and slow and lethargic, and he wasn't really wanting to do anything. He's back to normal now, being a little monkey. Yes, you are. Oh, that smells. Anyway, so that is the update of our week from hell. So thankfully, you know, Kanan is okay, and we're just making sure he's, you know, watching out for him to start to pass poops like he should. He's got his little shaved patch on his leg from where he had his cannula in. Stop biting me. I know you want attention, but you can't have it. So anyway, so Kanan is on the mend, thankfully. Massive vet bill, but that's what insurance is for. So that is, yeah, that was a crappy week. Spent loads of time sitting outside the vets, worried, losing sleep, feeling scared and stressed and ill over these animals. They are not fun or cheap when they break. So yeah, we actually worked it out. If we didn't have insurance, we would have to pay about £2,000 in vets fees this week for both boys. Which is kind of scary when you think about it. But anyway, I got to finish off my paperwork for the insurance claims, so that will be sorted very soon. Yeah, and that was all of our horribleness from the week. There really wasn't much else going on apart from being stressed about little Mannies. That is the roundup of our rubbish week with all the pets. Very stressful, very expensive, very not fun, but overall could have been worse, as we have 2 animals that are still fine, so that's good. So that was rubbish. So that is one of the main reasons that I'm very glad it's Friday. I am about to head and make some food. We're going to have some fajita sort of style things with some refried beans tonight. It's going to be really tasty. We haven't been eating quite unhealthily the last few days just because it's been busy and stressful, and it was just like, nah. Sustaining ourselves healthily was not high on the priority list. So I'm going to go do that. I'm probably going to watch some reading sprints tonight. I will give you reading updates a little bit later because my hand is getting sore and I have to go start the chicken. So I will do that in a minute. But what I will do is show you the books that I got that came in the mail today. So I'll have to do it one-handed. Oh, because I can't bother setting up the stand. So the first one is this one. It is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. This is the paperback edition. I've mostly seen booktubers with the beautiful dark blue hardback, which I did kind of want. But I saw this one and number 2, Muse of Nightmares, which is the second one in the series. So I bought these 2 as a bundle on Amazon, and they came today. So I'm very, very pleased. 2 books that I've gotten, which I can add to my brand new book trolley. I'm so chuffed that I finally got a book trolley, because I feel like you're not an official booktuber until you seem to have a book trolley. So I have one now, and I'm very pleased with it. And this is like all the books that I really want to read. Like my top shelf is pretty much all the books that booktubers made me buy. I could totally do a video on that, but I don't know if I can be bothered. But yeah, these books are going on there. I will decide where they're going. They're kind of in an order, so I'm going to think about that. Yes, so I'm going to go and do some cooking, and I will come back to you later to let you know what I'm reading this weekend, because there's not a lot else to do. I mean, it's quite good. I'll hopefully get some good reading under my belt, because I won't be as busy. It's going to be quite a quiet weekend because we don't want to overwhelm Poocher after his his horrible illness. And obviously it's still just a case of mucking out Dylan and keeping him ticking over. Although a friend of mine was super nice tonight and said she can let me have a shot of her horse tomorrow. So that's going to be super exciting. I actually get to ride. I haven't ridden obviously since Dylan came up lame. So I'm really excited to get to ride a pony, which will be so much fun. So I'll bring you along when I do that. And yeah, my hand hurts, so I'm going to go and cook, and I will catch up with you in a bit. Good morning, everyone. So it is now Saturday morning, and I never came back after cooking dinner, I don't think. I think that was my last update. So we ate dinner, watched some How I Met Your Mother, and then I went to bed because I was really tired. And I zonked. I don't even remember Ewan and Pup coming to bed. So yeah, slept all the way through. My god, such a busy week. Anywho, now I'm going up to the yard, do my usual, take Dylan in for the day, muck him out, all the usual fun stuff. and then go for a ride. As one of my mates has let me borrow their pony, so that will be super fun. Sorry, someone was walking past, so I was getting like weirdness. Anyway, yeah, so friends let me borrow their pony, and I'm very excited because I've not ridden since Easter weekend, so very excited. So that is the plan. So I'm heading off to the yard now, and Ewan's taking Pup off for a walk. We were supposed to go together, but we were a bit rubbish at getting up this morning, so that didn't happen. But anyway, he's off to trot with Ewan. I'm going for a walk, and I'm heading up to do Dylan. Hello, Toots. Hello, Toots. Come on, mister. It's nice. Kanan. Kanan. Hello everyone, it is now later on Saturday afternoon now. As usual, I came home and I had a nap, and then we ordered, I've just thrown juice all over myself, and then we ordered a Subway, which was really nice. We've had far too many takeaways in the last few days, but I can't really bring myself to care right now. So now that I've had a super lazy afternoon and we took the Poocher Poo for a walk, it is time to actually knuckle down and do something. So I can't decide whether to read or do editing. I probably should do some editing because I'm a little behind on it. I've got a bit of a backlog of things to edit, so I will maybe do that. I'm watching the Cozy Company sprints that Literary Diversions puts on a Thursday night. I'm watching them a day or so behind. A couple days behind. So I might go along with the sprints there, and I think I'm more in the mood to edit than I am to read. So I'm going to go So I'm going to go edit some of my backlog videos. I didn't get one up this week, so that will be last week by the time you're watching this, just because of everything happening with all the blooming vet visits. But I'm going to try and get something up for next week. Maybe do 2, just try and catch up. We'll see how it goes. At the moment, I've got more ideas than time to actually do videos at the minute. So we'll see what we can do. So yeah, so I'm going to go and get stuck in with some editing. Probably start off with the vlog for this weekend. So I'm going to go get stuck in on that and catch up with you a little bit later. Hello everyone, here's another update. I can't for the life of me remember what was the last update I did before this. I think I was trying to decide whether I was going to edit or read, and I chose to edit. I've been super productive and edited 2 videos, and they're scheduled and ready to go, and that is a wonderful feeling. Slightly daft of me, but I technically edited things out of the order I planned on uploading them, so I did a little quick change on my schedule to what I'm going to do now, so no harm done. But the videos that I was planning to put up have been bumped a little bit. Some of them have been bumped quite significantly, but hey ho, it's all good. Just bumping some beauty content that seems to just be stopgapper for me now. Turns out I'm just not as interested in making that as I thought I would be. I thought that would be more of a priority on my channel, and it's not what I find fun to do. So yes, a couple of those have been bumped a little bit. One into next month and one into the month after, but it's all good. And yeah, so that is 2 videos edited, and I'm feeling very proud of myself. So it's 10:10 now. I've been doing them alongside following sprints like I do all the time, and yeah, I could settle down and read a book now. So my reading lately, I tend to have an ebook, a physical book, and an audiobook on the go. That seems to be the general pattern, so I just have kind of something that fits every scenario. So my audiobook at the minute is a continuation of a series I started a good year or so ago. But I just somehow stopped. But they're not ones you have to really remember a lot from the previous ones. So I have just gone straight back in with book number 5, I think it is. So that's Kill Me Again by Rachel Abbott. And it's part of the DCI Tom Douglas series. I'm not sure if I've got his rank right, but Tom Douglas series anyway. So it follows a policeman called Tom Douglas and him solving crimes with his team, as many crime thriller type books do. This one seems to be to do with killers, or a killer that kills 2 people that look alike together. So like, it does one thing, it does something I really like, which I've mentioned before, is I like it when like a past timeline and a present timeline kind of run alongside each other and you're flipping back and forth and they kind of meld together. I like that. So at the minute we have a past timeline where there's been 2 girls murdered fairly close together that look very similar. And then a current timeline where there's been a body turn up that doesn't look like the original murders but has similar markings on them. So does that mean it's the same killer? Is there going to be a second body? There's also another thing, there's also another kind of aspect where like most of that comes from the policeman's perspective, but then there's a woman called Maggie and her story is kind of running alongside this as well. And I think the thing is she looks like the woman who's just died recently. So does that mean she's maybe going to be potentially the next victim? I don't really know. But there's a whole other thing going on with her family. She's a criminal lawyer, I believe. So yeah, I'm not that far into it. A lot's happened in a very short space of time. The chapters are really, really short and things are moving very quickly. It's quite fast paced. So, I swear there's still like 9 hours or something left in the audiobook and I'm already like, oh my God, so much has already happened. But yeah, enjoying that one so far. And that's kind of my driving to and from the yard book, which is the only journey I seem to do, is go to the yard and go to the shop. COVID life. And my ebook is Queen of Nothing by Holly Black. Now, if you watched my vlog from last week, you'll know that I was reading The Wicked King as part of my Tackle the TBR challenge. It was my February book and I was kind of falling behind with it. I'd started it in February but never finished it because it just wasn't clicking with it. But I pushed through with the aid of some sprints, ended up really enjoying it, and immediately started Queen of Nothing afterwards because I wanted to finish the series before I got foggy on the details again, because I'd left about a year between The Crow Prince and The Wicked King. So I'm reading that one. So I plunged right into that one straight away, was really, really into it off the back of Wicked King. And I've done the same thing as I did with Wicked King, where I've read a little bit and I'm like, nah, it's not pulling me. But I think that's what's happened in all 3 books. I feel like all 3 books kind of took a while to grab me, and then they grabbed me, and I was sunk, and I was into it. So I think it's going to be the same thing. So I feel like I'm going to need to push myself into that. I think I'm about 20% of the way in, and I think I was closer to 40% of the way in at least before I got really hooked on Wicked King. So I'm going to have to push my way through that one. And I also want to start my April Tackle the TBR book, which is Unquiet Minds by Hugh Miller, which is a non-fiction book, an older non-fiction book about forensic psychology, I think. This one I borrowed from a friend. So my prompt for this month was read a book you've borrowed and really ought to return. This one I've had for at least a year from a friend of mine. And although she's not asked for it back, I should probably at least read it and offer her it back pretty soon. She wasn't a big fan of the book herself. So I don't think she's in a rush to get it back. But equally, I should at least, offer. So my plan is to read that one this month and give it back to her once it's done. And to be honest, although I haven't started that one yet, that is the one I'm more drawn to start tonight, to be honest, which is a bit naughty. I should just push through Queen of Nothing, but I am tempted. I think I might will just start that one, because that is the one that I'm leaning towards, and yeah, maybe just give that one a go. It's not a huge book. I think it's about 250 pages, something like that, but obviously it is a non-fiction, so, and it's got quite intense material in it, so I'm going to see. I want to see how it starts off. I'm really curious, and like I say, I've had this book for like a year, so now that it's come out of my jar to read a book that I've had for a long time, borrowed from someone else kind of a thing, I'm like, perfect opportunity to start it. So I think I will go and do that. The caveat with that one is that I've decided to vlog the reading the Tackle the TBR books, so I may start that vlog in my pajamas, but we're all friends here. It's all good. I'm not really that bothered about that. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to go do. So I have a cup of tea here that has gone a little bit cold for my liking, because I'm always leaving cups of tea to go cold. So I'm going to nip that in the microwave and warm it up, and then have a little go at this book, and then have to go to bed fairly soon because it'll be another early start in the morning. Don't have to go and do Dylan first thing, which is awesome. My friend has got the Sadler first thing, so she's going to go up and do basically the morning shift for me instead of the evening one. So that's fine, and I'll do my share of that job in the evening, which is totally fine by me. We'll still be up early with Poocher because he doesn't really lie in, but that's fine. I've kind of gotten past the wanting a lie-in stage. I'm quite... I do quite like getting up early, so that's not a problem. So we're going to go take him for a fun walk in the morning, since he's finally got a lot more energy back since his illness. So that will be our plans for the morning. So I'm going to go heat up my tea, start a vlog, start a book, and then probably go to bed all in the next sort of 45 minutes. So I will catch up with you in the morning and fill you in on how that all went. Happy Sunday, everyone. It is just after 8 in the morning, and little Poocher man started whinging about 6:30, which is typical because we didn't actually have to get up early this morning because my friend's doing Dylan for me to give me a lie-in. That's a bit of a joke. So yeah, stinker pants kind of wrecked that, but anyway, we're gonna go and get some breakfast and then take him for a walk. He has no shame at getting us out of bed early. None whatsoever. We are the only ones crazy enough to be walking here before 8:30. But that's glorious. Come on, Kanan. Have the place to ourselves. Come on, Stink. Let's go. How sweet are they? Oh. So it's a little bit later on. I have had my obligatory Sunday nap, as it is at this point. I always seem to come home and have a nap. So yeah, dog was walked, he had a great time this morning, and then we popped past the yard to give Dylan an apple and say hi, and then home for some chill time. Had some bacon and egg sandwiches for lunch, which was great, and it is now on the way to 2:30. So I don't have to go back up and see to Dylan for another few hours, so that is perfect time to get some reading in. So I did start Unquiet Minds last night. I read the first chapter on sadistic personalities, which was disturbing. Kind of self-explanatory. People who are who find enjoyment in inflicting cruelty on others. Yeah, interesting. Very interesting. So I'm about to go and read a little bit more of that. and I will catch up with you in a little bit. So, this is our next walk down one of our local routes. I'm gonna go home after this and have some tea, probably continue reading. So, not that much else to show you for this weekend. So, like I said, this week started off being pretty rubbish with 2 sickly beasts, but now we're back to at least where we were last week, where it's just one lame ponyo and doggy is back feeling good. So, going to end the vlog here as Kanan is exploring, and I will see you again for another vlog next week, and hopefully we have some progress on Mr. Dylan. Catch you next week.